Should be good.
Yep. Okay. First of all, I should thank Alex for coming all the way to show his understanding and development of the technology. As usual, we see our technology so correct that we are not afraid to share knowledge, and we are not afraid other people around the world to copy, to develop new concepts and do things. We warn when it's wrong. I warn strongly when the things are wrong and it's getting done. And when the people do it because they think they can do it, foundation stays totally apart and independent from any damage to the foundation. I explained this very thoroughly yesterday in recording what came. We asked when we announced that when you mix gases with amino acid, it can create new germ, new viruses because of the combination of fields. And I warn you categorically, anyone who uses or contemplates to use, to develop, to manufacture needles as part of the structure of acupuncture, you are playing with people's life. And Keshe Foundation stays totally independent from this one. We told the technology, if anyone develops it categorically, because I can explain how you create diseases in people, you don't understand, and people look for their own private, what do you call it, profit pocket, you are responsible for people's life, especially if you're in the medical field and you do it with the warning I give. So if any new diseases or death cause, it stands responsible by you and not by the foundation. We are very categorical about this because we know there are people around the foundation who are developing or trying in China, especially Dr. Elia Kostova, to develop needles in acupuncture. I warn her, she has nothing to do with the foundation. She's categorically beyond the limits. We have warned that if such a step has taken, I hope I'm wrong, but it's for people to understand and authorities to understand. We separate these kind of actions from the Keshe Foundation. These kind of needles, nano-coated in any shape or form, delivers energies on the layer which body has no immunity for. The skin cancer and different kind of cancers are inevitable. We warn, and anything to intrude, and I give this categorical warning to Dr. Kostova, is beyond the limitation of the medicine while you are warned to practice and develop such a technology. And it has nothing to do with the work of the Keshe Foundation, and this can create huge damages to people who use it, long-term and short-term. Time will tell, and we stay independent from this. The same as what we warn about the use of amino acid in reactors. I think I'm quite clear. Yeah, we made our point very clear in this respect. So amino acids can attain and produce new microbes and diseases. So it's your responsibility not to do. It's your responsibility to be aware how you do and how you develop these kind of materials. Today, we have touched on the structure of change, the structure of a new beginning with the help of Alex, and understanding of the technology in different ways. What we learned today is bringing the whole totality of the energy, matter, composite gases together. And what we've seen in how to use the nano layers as a different strength, in conjunction with the GANs as different strength, in conjunction with the matter as a different strength, which is GANs part of its structure, to produce energy balance difference in plasma, where
It's because he's used to wearing the microphone, so we just walked up to the board.
oh, it's just okay. I forgot it left behind me. If you look at the cross section of this, you have the GANs, the nano layer. You have a tissue paper with the GANs. Then you have brought a matter state with the GANs. And then what you've done, you've taken the energy. Can I have a red one, please? You have taken energy with another nano layer on top. When you look at this cross section, this is what you have. Nano, a GANs embedded in tissue, then you introduce the aluminum, then on top of the aluminum, you introduce zinc. So what you've done, all these are matter of different strength because now the field force comes internally outwards. Because the GANs is more powerful than matter state. So what you're getting is the push of a nano into the GANs out for the matter level to be absorbed. So in this aluminum and in this zinc layer, you're reducing the energy of the plasma to matter state. So what you're actually picking up here is a fraction of the fraction of the fraction. So it means there is still a need for further understanding that in your development, Alex, to replace these two with a nano layer that instead of getting 1 kilowatt, you get 1,000 kilowatts. Because here you're still working in a schizophrenic. No, you have a new, it's not a schizo. You have used different structure of the plasma. Very strong, holding to, pushing. This is exactly, if you look, is the same structure as what Armand did with a coil inside. Yeah? You understand? So you have managed to break internally outwards. What I can tell you very interesting is, if the cameraman can show us, we go to the system, we have set it up here. If you look, we have put 2 fans as the load, and we have put the system here. I try to go away that you can see. We have put a system this way that 2 fans are taking energy. We have connected the energy, what is getting consumed, to this meter, and what we are putting back into the grid here. This meter was red number 1 when we started it, which means we are not taking anything from the grid at all. This one, which is feeding to the grid, originally 2 hours ago was between 0 and 1 kilowatt, and now is switching to 1 to 2 kilowatt. If you can come, the cameraman cannot come so close. It was 0 and 1. We've done a picture with a camera with, what do you call it, mobile phones. And now you see the number 2 in red is coming up. So we have already started supplying the grid with 2 kilowatts of the energy from 0 to 1. Now we are going to 2. So this proves completely the correctness of the structure. Thank you very much, Alex. So at this moment, we are supplying into the building the energy which they need. Why we see such a huge, rapid drain is because the building is using energy. And in time, you will see this will go into 1 kilowatt, 2 kilowatt, blah, blah, and the rest of it. So in past hour, we have fed to the grid nearly 2 kilowatts of energy. And as the ambient builds up, we will see we start supplying kilowatts. So already within 2 hours, the concept is proven to be correct. And it's not just me, it's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 of us here. We have watched it. We can confirm it was 0 to 1. And now it's 1 to 2. So it's building up. Hopefully by 4 or 5 o'clock we see, and it's proven the correctness. We become a supplier to the Italian grid. So less than cost of $1. And if 1,000 Italians do this, will become fantastic. This is what I explained to you. We have got this circuit set up by the Italian electricians. They've done it yesterday. It was done especially for us to see. We have put out on the top and in on the bottom. This is the in and this is the out, you see it. And now the figure is running to, we see where we're gonna get. Is there anywhere we can come close? The cameraman, can you come close to see? No?
I think the zoom is enough.
You cannot zoom.
You can zoom it enough.
You cannot, yeah, but that digit is,
It's blur.
it's red. We have, anyway, you got to trust our word. It's 10 of us, we don't lie. Shall we lie out together? It is 1,000.
I can actually, I was gonna say, I can actually see that it's between the 1 and the 2. Is that correct? The red number on the out?
Yeah, this is what we said. You become national supplier, but don't forget, we are putting energy out in AC, in the national grid, where we are consuming 2 electric fans. And input still stays at 1. So we are not taking anything from the grid. We are not taking any energy from the system in this country. We become a supplier. I would like to send my bill to the electricity board.
What, Mr. Keshe?
Yes?
Actually, all the components in the all the components in the classroom, they are taking energies from the grid as well. So, so which means it's supplying free. They're getting free energy from the system.
All our computers working here is taking energy from the system. That's what Alex tells us.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, and so what I want to check something is the power of each fan. It is a 45-watt fan. So every what do you call it? That's 90 watts an hour. In 10 hours, we use 1 kilowatt. So We are not there yet. The famous Canadian word, are we there yet? We are not there yet. And the strange thing is, we're still at 1. Armand, can you take a picture of this? Then you can do it because the cameraman can. Yeah. Yes, would you like to connect yourself into it? No, you can connect yourself to it if you want to, Marco. Pardon?
Water cooker.
What?
Water.
The water
kettle,
boiler.
kettle. Yeah,
That's what we did in the other lab. Yes,
yeah, that's what we did.
it's in the other lab. Bring it. Actually, even if you put it on in the other lab, it still comes on it.
Same thing. All the grades.
Ah,
Okay,
depends on.
yeah.
Okay, you can join us here. Bring the kettle. Well, anybody would like a cup of tea? Very easily. Oh, he wants 3 of them. You took a picture close up. So what we see now is actually they're trying to focus on. Yes, you see the 1. Okay. Can you do the same with the top one? Okay, leave that there. Now, can you do the one with the top? Okay, fling, twist it till we see it. Huh? Yeah, it's Sopra. It is Sopra. No, a bit more. No, we have a light on it. Hey, there it is. Don't move. Don't move. You see the 2 is coming down. Keep it there. Yeah? You see the 2 is coming down. It was 0 and 1. That's perfect. Yeah, it's the light you need to it. So now if you go back up, please, can you go up? You see the 2 is coming down very rapidly. This was 0. So by the end of the day, it says kilowatt hours. We are putting in 0.2 kilowatt hours into the Italian national grid. It's not illegal because we are not consuming any fuel. The international law says if you are producing energy from national resources or you bring sources in, it's a criminal offense. You need a license. We are not doing anything. We are using the national energy of our own heat of the body. All of us, the reactor which is running with the gas from the CO2. And the most beautiful thing with this is that if by tomorrow we go to 2 to 3 kilowatts an hour, we put 30, 50, 40 kilowatts a day into the grid. Not only we are not using, we are supplementing the government's subsidies. And on top of it, if 1,000 or 10,000 Italians do the same, the mathematics build up very quickly. The mathematics is very simple. 10,000 Italians put in 50 kilowatts a day. If 1 million Italians out of 70 million do it, that's 350 or 0.35 gigawatts of energy. But don't forget, this 1 million, not only they're putting in, whatever they use is not there either. So in fact, is much 2-3 times bigger. So a country like Italy, if the national government decides to support, will be energy free. And I'll tell you something, Saudi Arabia king is planning a very big coup d'etat. One of the things I said I enjoyed in my trip 7 years ago to Iran was the dress I had from the Office of His Excellency President Ahmadinejad was that you're not here for energy. We know energy resources is going to finish. Just contemplate on the space technology. And now we see what has happened. From today, there is no need for a single cent. It takes about 2 to 3 months to bring into national grid to be spent on fuel, which causes what has been the CO2 global warming. If this procedure followed, not only we absorb the CO2, but at the same time, we make for the first time the possibility to produce energy without damaging environment. There is no environmental damage. There is no reason for changing the environment except putting what we need. Something you will understand very, very important is that because of the transformation in the system, this is the system running, this is your body, you will receive energies as you need. So you'll find out the members of people who live near these systems become very healthy because any deficiencies is supported. But you cannot take more than what you need. So what you should see in the coming time, reduction even in the health problems. This is a huge development.
I mean, when your appetite, you not lost your appetite, but you don't feel like eating because you have so much energy in you, you don't have the need for food.
Now you hear from Alex. He lives in the house with this system for 8 weeks now. He says you don't lose your appetite, but you don't see a need for energy to eat because you receive what you need. This is what we said in a space. There it comes. The guru comes in with a teapot. He wants to increase as much as possible the energy consumption to see if the meter runs faster. We don't know if the fuse in this room, what they call the plugs, are connected to same phase as your power supply. So we see, be careful, we don't want a boiling reactor. There it is. How many times are you going to boil it, Marco? Oh, are you going to keep on pushing it? Oh, you can boil the whole container. You can boil the whole container. Be careful. Don't burn the university down, please. Huh? Without it, we can't show anything. Huh? You're happy? Oh, why not? Do we have a 2 kilowatt heater somewhere? Just plug it in. If you plug in the 2 kilowatt heater, we're doing it the wrong way. You have to plug that to the outside, not to here. We want to see if we can get consumption from this. You're taking from us free. Okay, let's boil it. Huh? Yeah. But this shows the energy taken from here. This is the incoming energy. We are not taking any energy coming in. So we're going to let you boil water. Leave it. Let your water boil. And then we take it to a circuit outside. That the energy. No. We want to see if you're taking anything from the grid. And we want to see if you are putting anything into the grid. This is the outgoing. This is how it's set up by the electrician. Yeah. So this one, the more you are using, the faster we are going. So it means as we increase demand internally, we increase our export. You see, now it's literally 2. Can you come close? Excuse me, Giovanni. We are actually supplying. We are supplying into the grid. Giovanni, your light here, enlighten us. We actually gone to 2 now. There he comes, the happy man. The Italian, there we are, you can see it. If you can show it there, you see the 2 is clearly now 2. It was 1 a few minutes ago. Yeah, perfect. And if you go to input,
the light for the 1 watt an hour is actually blinking a lot faster as well.
pardon?
The light, let me unmute on this one too. The light is actually blinking faster too.
Here we have a 3-phase, depends on which phase the light sits. If you turn the light off, maybe we can see it. The other one? No, it's no different. It's worse. It's worse. Jew. Yeah. We see now the 2 is going to 3. If you go up, can you go up, please? Can you go up? The 2 is moving into 3. So we are putting energy into the system. And you see the inputs taking from the grid is literally staying at 1 watt. You see it is coming down 2 to 3. So, and very little is going on the other side. You have to compensate. Vale? Pardon?
No, you can't unplug.
You can't.
Yeah, but because you need to energize.
You need to create a demand to get
exactly.
the pull. You need to create a demand. And so what you see by the time we finish. Pardon?
So if you plug in the refrigerator, it might have, if you plug in the refrigerator, you might have more of a draw then. The more draw you put into that, the more you're going to put out.
Yeah, that's true. That's correct.
Yes, in a way, yes. I mean, you can connect the laptops will go only on DC. There is a very interesting, if the input goes up to 1 to 2, it's not actually the output goes much higher. So in fact, defeats what comes in because you put it back in at the higher strength. So you will see the input will go up, what we take from, but the rate of output goes much faster. So by the time we go to 2, we are most probably 5 or 6.
Yeah, I see 3 coming up there already.
Pardon?
I see 3 is already visible.
3 is already visible. You see it now? We especially put, as you see, my handwriting is as the electrician gave it to us. We wrote on it that there is no confusion. It says out. This is how it's going to be. He tuned the phasing. He's told us exactly how to connect, and he tested it. And you see, is that the 1 out? 3. The 3 is very visible. Yeah. Can you turn the light a little bit? You see the 3. And so now we are putting in about 4 or 5 times more than what we are taking. So you've seen it at 0 cost. The energy control is over. You have to follow the pattern. In the due course, we will make a proper drawing of how to do it, the way to do it. And you will find out, if I'm correct, Alex will confirm it to us. The more pieces you add, the more power you put in.
Yeah. The more cells you add, the more
cells you add, the more power you put in. So you can increase the number of cells by increasing. You see, you're going from 1 to 2 on the input, and then don't forget, is the water kettle stopped? Not yet. It's still boiling because you're boiling some water plus the 2 fans. So you see we're going to 2, and can we go up? You see we are going from 3 to 4. And in time, in the coming hours, in the next few hours, the one is irrelevant because the ratio becomes so high that you're still a supplier. You're still supplying huge amount, double what you're taking within the first 2 hours. And this, pardon? The kettle is stopped. Yeah, okay. Now you see the 4 is coming down on the output. So we are putting.
I seen as soon as that kettle stopped, I seen that that light that was blinking very rapidly before. It's no longer blinking as rapidly.
No, because the more you put demand on, the more you supply.
And so, it doesn't even matter if it's 120 or 240 or whatever else it is.
Nothing,
it will condition itself to whatever's put in.
Yeah. So in fact, you become a supplier because you already not only supplied yourself, you put back in double the amount you supplied, you consumed. So we've seen it. We showed the theory. Alex showed the practical way of making it. Now we have put it to test. At the cost of less than $1, you can have as much energy as you like, anytime you like, according to what you like. And I go back to, as Alex said, that I don't have to worry about heating my house this winter anymore. Because in the past, you had to select.
Yeah, I have to rationalize my heating because it's expensive for me to run. I can't run it all day long when it's cold. But this winter, I'm going to put it at full blast.
But I tell you something, this is a word of a woman, my wife, I love her so much. She said, now we can officially use and heat up the swimming pool and the house. Because as a scientist, as a developer, every time we get attacked, they will look for energy sources, power supply to damage us for whatever, a nuclear material. We've seen it with the King of Belgium. Now, I can actually make a decoration outside the house from this hanging and supply all my neighbors and have a warm swimming pool in the winter. This time I won't break my head like last time to end up in the hospital. So it's a big difference. And actually what this means is a warning for national governments. Your income from electricity is going to be zero. Unless you find another way to tax. And then I'm sure, then what you're going to do with the fuel, then what you're going to do with the free food, then what you're going to do with the free application of the technology. So you see extremely interesting situation where what would be interesting, Marco, is to put again cold water in there and this time connected to the plug next to the plug on the ground, which we are beyond our system. Yeah? We see if you go, you see we are about to go 3 to 4. And that's all in a matter of half an hour, 20 minutes. Now Marco is going to connect it. This was on our grid. And we go to the next grid. So what is happening is by increasing the demand in the circuit is releasing more. You shrink the gravitational, so magnetical, which is what you put in grid, increases. If you look at it as a plasma, this is here. This is exactly what Alex has done. As magnetical, if you put them, we always do one red and one different color because it really shows. If you do the gravitational and magnetical, as you increase the gravitational, there is more magnetical available. Understand this. If you understand this, what I just said in the last two sentences, you have found the key to motion. If you understand what sits here, as you increase gravitational, as you pull more electricity in from our circuit, you release more of the energy in the circuit to be put out from the environment. So you have entered directional motion. And if you take this one step further in your reactors, I promise you, in a very short hours, you will fly. This is, nothing has changed here from day one when I said, I stood here, I stand here, I watch everything. When I said with a fat boy, this 100% flies, there was a gentleman sitting here called Marco, turned on to Armand and said, he said the same thing with the plant pot, what is not flying? Correct?
No.
Yes.
Say that.
He said, what did he say? He said the same thing about the plant pot.
No.
What was the other one?
I told him, I said, let's reassemble plant part and reload it again. That's all I said to him.
That's what I heard.
He
I
didn't
thought.
say nothing.
Ah, no problem. I do apologize. I don't even, so I remember I'm correct. And I said, yes, you would have flown. So you've seen this as it is. And now what is interesting is this is going to shock you in so many ways, but it needs for you to understand. If Alex brings this circuit, if Alex brings this circuit, I'm going to go back.
Mr. Keshe,
Yeah?
try not to touch the metal.
What?
Try not to touch the metal. Try not to touch the metal.
No, I won't touch. I've seen it
Yeah, you know
go
what
on
you see what
yesterday.
it is. So.
I had my fright yesterday.
Okay.
That's enough. I nearly got fused to the table yesterday. It was in my hand. I never thought. I just took the unit, this one, and I just put it on the table. And it fused everything. Good job my finger wasn't in there. So what happened if you take the inner this structure and place it on top of this frame, the star formation, and then change the demand on gravity or magnetical field, I promise you within seconds you fly. Yeah, but you have to know how to do it. Because don't forget, this sits in a circle on top of the star formation free plasma. You should see, but you have to measure the correct size that your plasma fits both in gravitational and magnetical. I explained to you something which Tesla did. I showed this to Alex yesterday in the lab, and a lot of people have not understood. Professor Miles have understood it, but very cleverly has disguised it for his condition to be proven. Excuse me, can you hold this? I'm losing a lot of weight.
That's good.
No good. You got to be fat to be fit. So, listen to something very interesting. We're going to show this in the coming days because we have a full Tesla unit here. We have an energy Tesla unit. We have a communication Tesla unit. The foundation has paid something like 8,000 to 9,000 euro for them to Professor Miles. And you've seen it in Ninov. He used our unit to show the fluorescent tube. Understand how it works. And so we add to the knowledge of Tesla, and we add to the knowledge of Professor Miles. Professor Miles has understood it very easily. Tesla understood it fully. What you have is this. Tesla unit from Professor Miles has a board and has a silver ball. This silver ball is hooked up onto the plate with 3 plastic that he stands in position. And then he has connected the central, this is a silver ball, through the central, through a wire to the center of the plate in the bottom. The trick, you don't look, because Professor Miles is very clever in trying to hide the understanding of Tesla, because otherwise he has no credibility in his scalar wave. When you look at this plate with Professor Miles, which has interpreted the pattern of Tesla, on the top, this is, we have how many plates? We have 8 plates, correct? We have 8 plates of Professor Miles. All the plates on the top are like this. Flat coil rounded on a printed circuit. Yeah? And then some of another one plate is like this. Tighter coil. But the trick is what Professor Miles has done. Professor Miles uses the link of common denominator interaction of plasma. On the bottom, all the plates have circuit like this. And the diameter of the rings is equal to the diameter of the ball. You pick up the plasma because it's chosen a copper and it's ring. He transfers energy to the center plate. What is the difference between this and this? According to interaction, becomes the energy available. Power supply, transmission of information in kilohertz. Gravitational, the size of gravitational. Magnetical, the size of magnetical. Tesla transferred the knowledge totally different way, where he used this dimension by a scale to the size of the planet Earth. So he could receive energy anywhere on this planet. And he added this as a transmission. Professor Miles has used this as gravitational. I'll bring you the plate, you see it. So in fact, the transmission ball and the diameter of the Earth have a ratio. And then he created a copy base in his car, and voila. Now the energy is transferred any way you like to a motor or anything else. This is the secret of Tesla. This is what nobody has understood today, how Tesla works. It's the first time I open the patent of Tesla. So what it did on the receiving end, when you look at Professor Miles' plate, he has one plate like this, and he has a matching plate in another place. This is in Russia, the other one is in his car. He only could understand to work within the diameter of the planet Earth. Now, the way you work as a plasma, your plasma has the size and the characteristics of the plasma of the universe. So the game is no different. But in both ways, receiving and sending in the same plasma instead of making a plate. To receive, to match, to send, to receive. Within certain band, with certain tightness, you transmit information. Certain tightness, you transmit, reject power. And don't forget, Tesla never could send to receive. He was always sending from one to be received by one. And Professor Mile has referred it. That's why in Faraday cage, you cannot send, but gravitational field is stronger and you can receive. This part, sending out, is what Tesla understood it did. This part is what Miles has understood and is done. Because you send out, it's a level of throwing, depends on how much you're allowed to throw. A box blocks you, but what Professor Miles says is because it's gravitational, it pulls in anyway. So physical barrier is no different. And then Miles trying to justify his system that is the scalar way. There is no scalar way. One is working with gravity, one is working with magnetical, both the same strength, both the same equation. The only thing is the gravity, the pull is always stronger than throwing away. So in fact, Tesla in Moscow threw away and he collected in, in New York for his car. So they got his car from him, they couldn't understand. For the first time, do you understand what Tesla did? So, but the difference now with you, this is what Alex said to me yesterday. He said, oh, now I understand. Can I have the ball? I said, the system, take back and do what you like. He wants to fill in the balls with guns. Then you can hear that beacon through the universe. Because now he's confined it to a ball, but it's a ball of plasma. And now you understand in a very short time, energy production, if you understood this with Tesla, in gigawatts from a single place is available. All you need to do, you don't need to put any more wires. The wire transmission is finished. But today, if you understood, is not the end of only production. If you understood how you collect it, now you don't need any wire to collect what you want to collect where you want to collect. Teapot, a fridge, television. Now only we need to put a printed circuit of the amount of energy we want to receive at a point of demand. In fact, all we're seeing today is control of plasma into conversion of energy. As I said, the development has to be very rapid. Within the next few days, a lot of you should be able to produce systems which have no wires, totally wireless, and totally harmless. Because when you create the right connection, you're Tesla in New York. You're Tesla in anywhere in the world you want to be. You're a Tesla in the universe. Because you have made a matching here on Earth. This is what I said. You develop when you get to the point of understanding, I teach. I explore and I open the books. So now you understand. Very simple. You send a message. It's sent as any power immediate. You want the message received immediate. The whole structure is done very, very perfectly by Alex. But he did not understand, in a way, the totality. And that's why the job of a teacher is to teach, to understand, to put things in equation in the right order. You can demand 100 kilowatts, it'll be there instantly. The way the system receives energy, and you're seeing it now is building up. Now you need to find a system that receives energy at the amount you need. Now we put the kettle on, we don't need a wire. If we can print a circuit in the background exactly like this, instead of being a collector to be a receiver, your kettle boiled with no wires. So the economical cost from today of energy transfer is zero. We've seen the solar cells, now we see plasma cells. And this should run like a wildfire throughout the world. You don't need to send a man in Africa a system to produce energy. You send the man a little circuit which works the same way, and you say, please connect it to your television. It'll be there. Because here, from the same source, you have sent the energy, but through plasma. Central power supplies, transmission lines at $1 to $2 million per kilometer are buried. If you lot knew how much governments put in maintaining transmission lines, is a percentage of national asset. I know, the Westinghouse man knows in the background too. Transmission lines is one of the biggest burdens on the Chinese government development. And if our Chinese friends, which I know a number of them are listening, understand this, I tell you, Mr. Hui, with his investment in transmission line in China, is out of business, unless he develops and confirms and transfers immediately. Because if you understand it, it's a very simple, actually, the receiving system is very much the same thing, reverse winding. Cost zero. The way you learn to transmit, you change the gravitational system out and a magnetical system in. That's all. Understood? So if you reposition, now the magnetical becomes a receiver. Solved anywhere in the universe, zero cost. Congratulations. Anyway. Italians, we wait. Welcome to Africans. We have to understand, it's very important, the way you have been taught to even produce gases and nanomaterials relies a lot on the first group of knowledge seekers, especially these two. Especially these two have put a lot to bring it in the language that everybody could understand. Making it, developing it, and you're just walking it through. 99% of you have no clue what you're doing with nanomaterial. But you watch a video, you've seen something, you've got it there, you repeat it. That's what all it needs to be. For people to do it, to see the benefit, then they understand it later on. And now, what is our reading? Let's have a look. I'm getting blind, I can't read. We are between 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. but we are still loading into the system. So we are, yes. Oh, it's just.
Did you want to try plugging in one of those computers into that? Because that UPS will
Which
draw.
computer? We can load all the computers into it, but they're short wires. So in any case, Marco, I think you better put your kettle on again. It's a bigger energy demand. It's 800 watts, where these are only 50 watt fans.
If the plasma builds up, so no, we don't even have to load. Just automatically start firing.
Oh, something jumped. Something here jumped, so let's have a look.
It's 3, 4.
Is 1 going to 2, it's been in the same position, that's been the same. So would you like to put a demand on the car and the load? Is that boiling on this outside? It's already boiled. Okay, open the cap and let it boil out. It's nice, there'll be a sauna here.
Thermostat.
Thermostat. Yeah, the thermostat only works if the steam goes back on, no? Is it boiling? Yeah, let's see. Let it boil. I hope you don't mind having a steam bath. You know, a sauna is good sometimes. Clears the skin and the brain. So what you see now is in, which one are you showing? Giovanni, a little bit. Are you on the bottom one or the top one? You're on the out, between 3 and 4. So what is important is, if you understood, that's okay, we're going to read it again, it's okay. If you understood this, if you understood what was explained now, so remotely from outside, you can control the performance of your star formation legs. So what you do, if this sits there, and you have your star formation, now we're changing the field demand. Excuse me, can we speak? This is important, I think, more than boiling a kettle. Leave it there, it blows out. Yeah, it's okay, no problem. Get back there, this is more important than a kettle. Switch the kettle off, it gives you peace of mind, we can carry on. Leave it. Okay, sit down, leave it. Leave it. He's such a tidy man, he gets excited with boiling of the water. Leave it. So you got to understand, Keshe Foundation is full of nice people. Look, you have now a free plasma in this position. You have a free plasma condition in the center. By changing this, you can control and change this, because it's already receiving energy from it. So you want to take off, increase it remote. You want to land, decrease it remote. At least 1 or 2 people in this place. I tried to keep Alex here because he's going to do it before all of you when he gets to England. Should be able to fly within the next 2-3 days and be honest enough, like Alex, to come and teach it and put it in public. Because now you have learned how remote, at least you can control the lift and landing. This is what I said when the Italians came down with the big core a few weeks ago when they came to see me. I said, this system is both energy and motion system. This is the first time when you put the reactors near each other or in a position of a cell like this, you see the energy and you see through energy how you control the lift. So, irrespective of how you run it, all you need to do in the time of control is just fling the switch to this or to this, because the rest of the apparatus is exactly the same. You want to land, switch over. You want to take off, switch over. Which way would you like to go?
I want to take off.
Huh?
I want to take off.
Take off.
Yeah.
Very easy. You understand? So, in fact, now you have a full energy, because the energy production is not going to change here anyway. Is your flight position in respect to your central core does. So all of you who bought the Keshe Foundation new star formation, if you have know how to make these little circuits, I think you should know by now, all of you should be in a flight position in the next month or two. So tell your cousin, I'll see you in Washington tomorrow for lunch. And then we go for dinner to Tokyo. You'll do it because you have enough time. Don't forget, we can do this on planet Earth because here we have a full GPS gravitational magnetic field released by NASA and the Russian Space Agency on a daily basis, hourly basis. So we know the gravitational magnetic field at a point in Washington. Don't promise a dinner at home tonight in wherever you come from. Pardon? Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh. No dinner tonight. And don't promise the boys I'm home tonight, Papa. Yeah? Because if you have this, you promised me you fly my Persian carpet. You remember? And yesterday I opened the boot to put his suitcase in and says, oh, that's a flying carpet. I said, yeah, not yet. Because you don't need an aircraft, you don't need a pilot. You tune your GPS gravitational magnetic field over the house, is unique fingerprint. You don't forget the Tesla boy. You're home within seconds. Just be careful you don't fall out of the earth. You got to get yourself back in. Yes. Now, even the aviation has changed. But the beauty of it is you don't need my carpet. You can just fit it in your car. He's done it. This guy, I'm going to stand off. He's going to explain to you how he runs his car. Do you want to talk or are you chickened out? You're not shaking anymore?
No, that's done now.
Good. Carry on. I'm here to give you a little bit of support if you need it.
So,
he looks very official, huh? He's got a tailbone. He's a news agent. We cover you.
Okay. So what I've done with the car system is this.
Explain. No. You're too quick. It doesn't make sense. Then they ask us, what did you do next?
Okay.
First of all, what did you understand? Come there. Here is, you're too dangerous. You write too fast. There. Okay. Explain what was your concept about using the technology in the car. What did you do first?
I added
the cameraman wants to see you.
Sorry. I added CO2 to my.
Why did you do that? Who gave you the idea to do that?
You gave me the idea.
No, I know I gave you the idea. In one of the teachings, you can put CO2 in the fuel. And what it does, he goes and does it straight away.
Yeah.
The copper oxide and CO2, yeah.
Yeah,
You already burned the cylinder twice. You better watch. He says, I'll be in Bari in 200 kilometers away. 5 days later, he's still there, and I passed him a long time ago. Have you seen the road runner? So, what was the idea to put? What did you do?
Because
Did you put CO2 or copper oxide?
I think it's, I can't remember. I think it's CO2, and then I had copper oxide in the reactor. But the idea was that I wanted to link the fields of the one in my tank.
Link the fields of the GANs in the tank
to the reactor in the car.
He put a reactor, one reactor or star formation.
Just one reactor.
One reactor.
Yeah.
Now, it's important. Understand this. Scusa, you Italians. Scusa. Or shall we go like this? I don't want to do other features. I've learned all those. They tell me you haven't learned Italian to talk. I said I've learned all the bad things. Body language doesn't need to speak. You learn it from the Italians on the driving, on the motorway. You go slow, they give you all the handshakes they like. So you learn very quick. Now, stop.
Okay.
This is important. This is very, very important. He said, listen to the language. So he doesn't understand. Maybe he understood, but he just followed. He said, I wanted to link the guns in the tank with the reactor in the car.
The fields of the guns.
Pardon?
The fields. I wanted to link the fields.
Yes, the fields. Don't forget, he understood it because he already uses the same thing in the house. To him, is a natural progress. He doesn't use the CO2 or the GANs as a fuel. He, by transferring the GANs, creates a field between the tank and the car in the reactor. This is the key. CO2 is not the fuel. CO2 is a condition very much what is put in this tank. If you remember, we've shown the pictures when the Belgian authorities came to stop us to demonstrate flying car on 25th of November 2011. I showed them, I took them to the car, and the fuel tank was in the back of the car. I said, what's your? I said, I don't need a fuel tank. But it's still in a fuel tank state. Understand what's the difference? When he puts the GANs in the fuel tank, now all the fuels within the environment of the GANs are in a GANs state. Energy release is different. Behavior of the fuel is different. You get injection motors, you get all sorts of things to make the plasma of a gas efficient enough to lose very little. He already converts some of the fuel into open plasma, so he doesn't need one when he hits the core in the cylinder, has done the job. But he has something else to tell you, and then I explain. Tell us the next step.
How to connect it all?
Yeah, tell me you put a fuel in the tank.
Yeah, and then I connected the reactor. I put a series of these cells on the reactor and hooked it up on the cigarette lighter. You know the cigarette. Oh yeah, I hooked it up and then I kept it in one side of the car and let it run. I observed that when I drive, sometimes if I'm like, let me make something clear. I have a very old car. You know, I'm a poor man, so I can take risks with the car.
He was a very poor man till he got here. Now he's a very rich man.
All right.
Knowledge and soul.
All right. So I observe when I drive, the car first is lighter, and then when I negotiate a turn, it's like the car is on its own. It's just don't feel it. It just goes like that. So like it wants to. I don't know how to explain it. It's like like you're driving on air. I'm not saying the car has levitated, but you can feel that it's, you don't really need a lot of forces.
Would you say that it's like it's on rails instead, as in?
It's a hydraulic system.
Exactly, it's like on magnetic rails, but it's not.
Exactly. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Yeah, it's something like that.
Don't forget, again, I'll explain. So let's throw this to add to the knowledge in a different way. He has a car, very old, we presume it looks like this. And then he has a fuel tank. This is him sitting here, and he's made one of these guys here. And he connects this into the cigarette lighter. Am I correct? Excuse me. Are you teaching or playing?
No, I'm not playing. I'm just trying to try something else.
There'll be no pay, huh? Get here.
No, don't worry. All right. So
Teacher has to be good.
okay. So
When you play, children play.
no,
Then
don't play. I was just
teaching.
really doing something else.
So you put the guns in the tank.
Tank, yeah.
Okay. Children. This is the guns in there, copper
Yeah.
oxide, CO2.
CO2, yeah.
And you made one of these principal batteries here.
Yeah, I made
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
So this one here, yeah?
Mm.
And what else did you do? You connected it into the cigarette lighter.
Yeah.
Okay.
But hooks to the reactor. What I did is
You connected
let me
the
show you.
lighter to
Something
the
like that.
reactor.
So what I did is I cut the wire into two, and then this is the supply coming. I use the supply to power the socket the same way I do we did
Yeah.
here,
Yeah.
and then I just use the load. I put the reactor on the load, and then I put it on the cigarette.
Ashtray.
Yeah,
On
actually,
the cigarette lighter.
Yeah.
So let's explain. People can feed their car tonight. You
Okay.
got one of these cells.
Yeah.
You connected it to the wire.
Yeah.
And which way did you connect it? Positive or negative to the wire?
Positive to just the same way it is here. Just exactly the same way it is here.
Same as here.
Yeah, same as
So
here. So it is
you-
negative to the negative and the positive to the positive. Which means
Positive.
this wire,
Yeah.
okay, this is the one coming from the battery of the car.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Battery
this-
of the car or
yeah, the
the
source is the battery, isn't it?
cigarette
Cigarette
lighter.
light, yeah, but that's the battery.
Okay, the cigarette.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is the one coming from there. So the negative goes here, and then the positive goes here. And then the load, which is the reactors, are coming from here and here.
Uh-huh.
And then you put this one. Yeah, that's it.
And then
That's it. And then I put it on.
okay.
I put the
So
reactor
you
on.
connect the negative
Yeah.
to the negative, positive to positive. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the load, this is the load that goes to the reactor itself.
To the
To the reactor, the ping pong ball reactor.
you connect your ping pong ball reactor
To there.
to here. Okay. Now we understand. The guy has got a ping pong ball reactor in the car too. So he's repeating the same operation.
Yeah, that's what I said.
No.
Yeah.
You
I said I had a reactor.
You said to me a reactor is everything is a reactor. But you got to be
Okay.
clear.
Okay,
So
I didn't understand.
now he connects to a system. And then he says the system is very soft. I have a very old car, and it goes like this. So what is actually done through the demand creates lift in his car. Have you secured the reactor, or is it loose in the car?
It's loose, but you can see it.
Lift.
It's always trying to.
Do you understand what is happening? This is what I explained to you here. Now, I'm the driver.
So he's demanding from the reactors, which is causing the magnetic or the gravitational field to
and
bend.
his fuel tank is the gun sitting in a tank. Now you understand. We'll explain in a short while you understand. So I'm going to ask you something. I'm the driver. Where is the chain? Where is the
The reactor is just Beside me.
Beside you were on the driver's side?
No,
He's
the-
an Englishman, so
Oh,
the
yeah,
driver's
sorry.
here.
Yeah. Sorry.
You don't know the confusion. I used to drive in Europe and live in England. It was very difficult. The car would have
change.
moved to change. So I'm
Yeah,
the
you're the
driver.
driver, and then the reactor sits just right underneath the thing.
Me or
No.
a passenger?
You are the driver, and then the reactor is on the
passenger
passenger.
side.
Yeah, yeah.
What about the dog if he jumps in?
I don't have a dog.
Okay, now you have. So where did you put the chain? Where is the chain?
The chain is connected. That's why I said.
Yeah,
I
but
cut
where
this
is it?
into-
Where do you put it in the car?
I just hung it on the pigeonhole.
Hanging on a pigeonhole. You have a pigeon in the car.
Yeah, no, the pigeonhole, the one where you keep your little envelopes and so on.
Ah,
kind of compact
okay, the
one, too.
pigeonhole,
Yeah.
the letterbox.
Okay.
Okay, you hang it in the letterbox.
Yeah,
Why don't you hang it from the mirror?
from the mirror. And
Oh,
I've
from
not-
the
I've
rear.
not- It's not the thing is not long enough.
I
The
see,
cord is
okay.
not long enough.
What about if you hang it from the mirror like everybody does, you know? But
Yeah,
they
but it's
don't
not-
know
it's
the
not-
thing is like
it's-
a tasbih, but it's not. It's just energy.
But it's not long enough.
Okay, so you hang it on there.
Mm.
You connect it to the cigarette box.
Yeah,
I also have a question.
yeah.
Pardon?
I have a question.
No, you can't ask questions. Wait.
I'm gonna ask a question
Wait,
anyway.
no, you can't. You don't even
How-
ask questions. Wait, we don't know where the reactor is yet.
Yes, but I want to know how many of the base reactors are on that ring.
Only one reactor.
Only
One.
one core.
Only one
One
reactor.
core. One ping pong ball.
Okay,
Like,
thank you.
Now I'll tell you another secret. Wait 1 second. So you have this, what we call, like, this is what the Arabs call a tasbih. You know, they play with it. What do you call it?
the beats.
The beads. Yeah? From now on, we call it energy beads. It's easier. Everybody understands. Okay. You got your energy beads hanging there. You got your
Ping pong ball
CO2
reactor.
box, what do you call it, reactor there.
Mhm.
Your reactor is connected to here.
Yeah.
Your energy supply is there. Do you know what you're doing?
No.
You're using your starter motor as a running motor. In fact, you can throw away your engine.
Now you just told me. So maybe I'll throw my engine away when I get
Yeah,
home.
but the difference is that in doing that, because the system is in the corner, on the floor, he feels easy to drive. So in fact, between the back and the front of the car, you created a levitation field, but it's very soft. The good thing will be next time when you go back to England, if they allow you in now, well, you know, you're on the television. When you go through Heathrow, all the cameras will be on.
No,
The genius of the
no
century
way,
is
no
here.
way, no way.
So what's gonna happen? You don't know England.
No, I'm gonna
Somebody
sneak in. Don't
pays,
worry, I'm gonna sneak in. Don't worry.
Somebody pays the Sun magazine. You'll be all over the floor. Just
No,
make
no.
sure you got
No,
your
no.
top on. You won't be on the page 3. So what's gonna happen when you go to England next time? Take everything out of the car, go on a scale, get the car weight, see how much it weighs. In Barnet, where you live, there is one nearby. There's a weighbridge.
Yeah,
As
no,
you go
no,
up the
worries.
hill,
Yeah, no, no,
he
worries.
actually, I have to tell you how I know this. That's how I actually got to know this guy about a year ago, 2 years ago. He wrote, Mr. Keshe, I work in Barnet. I know you used to go to Barnet College. So I had to answer him because that's the first place I went to England. So I know the place roughly. So there is a weighbridge as you go to M25.
Yeah.
Yeah, you take your system out,
Mhm.
you go to weighbridge, you weigh yourself, you go home, put everything back in, and go and weigh yourself again. See if you still weigh the same.
Okay, but do I have to let the reactor run, the plasma build up a little bit, or I can just...
Whatever you do, whenever you're happy,
Mm.
do one without and do one with it. See if
Okay.
you weigh any different.
Okay.
So it's very good. Barnet is one of the most beautiful parts of London years ago. I don't know about now.
Yeah, it's still nice.
It's still nice. It's got a very sharp hill, and the college is right on the top. You want to go to school
I'm
from
very
there,
green as well.
and you want to go up from the train station, metro to up, it's a good walk. And sometimes you get tired. There's a court on the left-hand side. You go and rest in the court and listen to court sessions. I've done that a few times. Correct?
Yeah.
On the left-hand side. So now what happens? He has created a condition where now, by plugging into the cigarette ashtray, he is using the generator, the starter motor, because it's got enough power to push the, what do you call it, the camshaft to start the car. He's actually supplying his starter motor as a runner. So the starter motor is feeding it. He has a small story to tell you, then you know what it is. What was the measurement of your battery before?
I think about 11 point something volts.
And what was after?
18 point something volts.
So he is charging his battery and he's feeding his starter motor.
18 volts? That's
18 volts.
More than 18 volts.
I hope that it didn't explode here shortly, but I
No,
know that's
no,
more
no,
of a
no,
plasma
don't
voltage.
forget. No, it's a plasma state. You'll never
Yeah.
do.
No, but
Yeah.
listen, I wasn't measuring from the battery. I was measuring the cells. I was
He's measuring the cells.
These cells, I was measuring the cells, not the battery itself.
Oh, you're measuring the cells, so you get 18 volts.
You understand that?
So now you understand very simply, he's used the same knowledge, the same technology, and I tell you, we told you before, you might want to hear it again. He usually, don't forget, he's a very, very old man, this gentleman, extremely old. He was black hair when he came in this morning. He's got gray hair. We just noticed with Arman before he comes in. Maybe he talked with Arman a bit too long. He's a creature of habit. He lives very near to where he works. And he's done this for 20 years? About 20 years. And how much fuel do you use? How do you buy fuel?
I just put a quarter every now and then because I live very
Quarter
close.
of a tank or half a tank?
No, a quarter of a tank.
Quarter of a tank you put every how many weeks?
Every month.
Every month. So he uses quarter of a tank because the shop is near the house.
Yeah.
Now, when did you fill the tank the last time? So that's every month about quarter of a tank you buy.
About April. So
you loaded in April. Do you know when April, beginning, end?
End of April.
End of April. And you still do the same thing as a creature of habit.
Yeah.
Have you filled out the tank yet?
No, since then, no.
You still
But I still have just under a quarter. Just under a quarter.
Just under a quarter. So you've driven the whole of, let's say, May,
June,
and June. We are July today, it doesn't count. Yeah. So in this time, how much fuel? You still got a less than quarter.
Yeah, I still get
just a little bit less than quarter. Yeah. So in fact, he hardly used any fuel in 2 months. So BP shares take a nosedive. You understand? In a simple way, a single reactor, not a star formation. Those of you who are buying a large number of single reactor cores from the foundation in past 24 hours, because it's gone on sale. Somebody's bought 60 of them, I think. Somebody has bought 60 reactors, single reactors, or 60, yeah, I think they bought 60 reactors. No, just a single, because we sell a single, I think so, I don't know. I was told a figure by somebody. I think, how much was it? I think it's, Vince.
No, Mr. Keshe, I made a mistake. Actually, it was in March.
March, okay. Sorry, we go back. The story is worse for BP.
Yeah, end of March.
It's March. So
it was 10 reactors at a time, by the way.
Pardon?
It was 10 reactors at a time.
10 reactors. No, somebody has bought 60 health pain pads. That's what it is, the 60. So, but they made a mistake. They only paid 25 euro. So it's no wonder I would have bought 60 of them at that price. So March, end of March. So you had the whole of April, May, and June, and literally no fuel is used. So what I recommend to you tonight, get your CO2s. It's not my problem, it's yours if you like to do it. How much did you put? How much CO2 did you put in there?
A syringe. I think it's
a syringe.
Yeah, syringe, not the big syringe. I think it's a 15 or 20 mil syringe.
20 mil of CO2
Yeah.
has to become the tea lady. Yeah, you're wetting the ground, Marco. Oh, no, full. No problem. So he hasn't put a lot of guns into the tank. He's only put 15 mil syringe.
Yeah.
Our syringes are 50 mil. You're talking about 1.5 milliliter of CO2
Exactly,
in a
yeah.
tank.
Mhm.
What I call a bead set. It's very little, it's about this much. And then a reactor in the car. Connected reactor to, okay,
Cells.
the bead cell is connected to negative and positive,
Yeah.
and the core is connected to negative and
Yeah,
negative.
No,
Where is your core?
this is the core.
Yeah.
It's connected. That's the load. This is the load. So it's
So,
connected to this one.
Connected to
yeah,
positive and negative.
And then the
The
motor,
cigarette
yeah, it's connected here.
to the cigarette box, connected to cigarette box here.
Yeah.
I should write it this way. Cigarette box, yeah?
Mm.
So you connected that positive to negative to the cigarette box, the bead, and you connected the core positive, negative
As the load.
as a load.
To the reactor.
So understand his terminology. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, can we have a bit of a thing? He sees the core as the load. He sees the bead as a supply. Yeah? So,
It's the other way around.
no, that's what he says.
No, I'll take it. I didn't quite follow it. This leads to the cigarette.
Cigarette box,
Cigarette box.
yeah.
And then this leads to the load.
That's the load, the core.
Okay. The load contains the cells and the reactor at the same time.
Ah, okay. So
it's a continuation.
That goes to there, the supply. So the load and the bead, yeah?
Yeah, it goes, yeah.
It goes to the, what do you call it? To the ashtray.
Yeah.
To
the ashtray, because that's the power supply.
Ashtray, okay, ashtray.
No, not ashtray. The cigarette.
The cigarette. Okay.
Lighter.
The cigarette lighter. So where are we? We're a bit confused.
No, I'm not confused anymore, because this is the load, and then this is the supply. This is the supply. Which
supply goes to cigarette box.
Yeah, so and then the load, the reactor goes to the load. The reactor, okay, I'll explain it to you this way.
Explain it. I've never learned about electronics and electrical. I was the worst guy.
Yeah, I don't know nothing about electronics as well. But if this is the, okay, thank you, Amon. See, now, this one, the negative, the positive, that's what I connect. The positive goes to the cigarette lighter, and then the load from here and here goes to the reactor. That's all, and then
so that's all. You connect the positive to
the positive, and then
negative here.
Yeah, this is negative, and then this is positive. So if you put it like that, negative goes here, positive goes here. So this one goes to the.
So you connect one line to the negative, one line to the positive.
Yeah.
Goes to cigarette box.
And then.
So here you use one line from here and one line from here to cigarette box.
No, not from here. This is the negative. I'm using the positive to. Oh, wait, listen. No.
Yeah, this is what you're showing me there.
From here, this is the positive that goes to.
Okay.
Because this is the negative.
You see, we answer people and then they say it works, it has to be. So you go from one negative and one positive to cigarette box.
Yeah.
And then
the load is here.
Yeah.
Goes to the
you go one from here.
That's positive.
And one from here.
Negative.
To the core.
Yeah, to the core.
Okay. Now we understand. So when you made this basic supply power, the one which has this is the base, usually where we connect the positive and negative together.
No, the positive is the one that takes the
No,
supply
no, no.
from.
Okay, we take the positive. Okay.
Yeah.
This is the positive and negative. You connect to supply.
Okay.
And you connect this and this to the load, to the core.
Yeah, and this one starts at a positive, and then this is a negative.
Negative. Okay, so we understood this from this morning. That could we have one of these fans blowing this way? It's too hot in here. It's getting very hot. Maybe it's the excitement or the old age.
I think it's both.
Call yourself old. I'm still young. You don't know. You don't want to know my age. I'm still young. At least in heart.
All right.
So. Huh?
Sorry.
No, we can't take it because it's putting load up. So we see this, and now in such a combination with the fuel in the car, the reactor on the floor, you reduce
the
consumption to more or less zero
maybe
in 3 months. I'll tell you something. Not only BP will like this one, nor would British government. Bed and breakfast will not be happy at all, because you know the British system is called bed and breakfast. You didn't know that. B&B. British government lives on the back of BP. That's what they do. You didn't know that. Of course. BP, yes. British Petroleum is the backbone of British government work. And with such a system, they cannot exist. Don't forget, all the acquisition, all the oil operation, all the income of British government, all the revolutions have done through the oil industry, through BP. You might not know that, but you know now. All financing of revolutions around the world through American government and British government is done through BP. Yes.
Okay.
Not many people know because it's a financier. So this way, they're bankrupt. The government doesn't receive taxes because nobody buys oil, and the BP cannot sell because nobody buys oil. It is applicable to all nations. You pay €1.40 for a liter of fuel. Total cost to the oil industry is about 20 cents. Transportation cost on retail brings it to about 40, 45 cents. 90 cents to about 85, different nations around Europe. About 90 cents is taxation for the government. This pays for your hospitals, this pays for all the military defense, all the killing machines are financed this way. Don't forget, the main income of oil taxation in most of the countries supports military. If you go on the balance sheet of most of the nation and find out actual true cost of the military is equal to income from the petroleum industry where the people pay. So this way we have taken and we can take the leg of the defense industry because they have no more money. You find out when the nations don't have money, the first thing they cut is defense. Pardon? Social services. Social services come last because they have to pay the army man. So you see how a simple man is helping towards the World Peace Treaty and the World Peace Map. This is how it sits. So now, this morning, A simple man has dismantled the energy. The same man in the afternoon dismantles the oil industry.
Mr. Keshe, you want to put me in trouble? You know?
You're already in trouble. You should have never taken the flight. The thing is, I've done the same thing for years. Now, there is, I was told, hundreds of thousands of people within the next few hours and weeks will watch this. They replicate it, and because it works, they tell the others. So you have become partner in crime. At least it's two of us now. Huh? You made the life much harder for Mr. Hans Brackenier now. Now he's got to plan more. So you see, excuse me, the Italians. April, May, June, he still got his fuel in the tank. And you have not produced new fuel. You haven't produced new consumption fuel. All you've done, you have created energy which you're supplying into your starter motor, and the starter motor is doing most of the work, most probably. We did a research with the Ghent University in producing new cars. Because if you know or not, we were offered the General Motor factory for producing cars in Antwerp when General Motor was going bankrupt years ago, and they closed the plant. It was offered to us by Magna, and in that process, we had friends in Ghent University, the professors in electronics, electrical, and I went to them and said, we are getting the plant. We want to produce electric cars because we don't need anything else but electric in the general plant Antwerp. And if you read the business plan we gave to Magna and we gave to the German government and we gave for General Motor to give us the plant, it was all agreed. One of the professors of the Ghent University wanted to be a director in this new company, car manufacturing, which can fly. And the business plan, we've seen it. I can release it to you. You know who he is. He's the second man in command of what I call the electrical departments of the Ghent University. He was told he cannot operate with us anymore, otherwise he loses his seat as a professor. So it came to an end with it, but in that time of research, we found out the minimum weight of the car is 200 kilograms before the crosswind takes you, and other things affect your parameter of the running of a car. So you need to have a car to weigh at least 200 kilograms to have a safe driving car. So what happens, you can create a condition of lift. Don't forget, he's in England. Is your car front drive or back wheel drive?
It's automatic.
Pardon?
Automatic. Automatic.
Or the front wheel or back wheel axle? Back wheel.
I don't even know.
You don't know.
It's a Honda.
Doesn't make any difference. I don't know
So
what
I don't know
cars are. I just know the
so I
signs
don't know
of
if
them.
it's front or back.
Then it would be front wheel drive.
Pardon?
If it's a Honda, it would most chances be a front wheel drive.
It's a front wheel drive.
Okay.
So you create a lift at the front. We reduce the weight at the front. That's why your steering is lighter. You have created a very complex but very system weight reduction system. That's why you feel the wheel feels when you drive it different than before. Take everything out on drive and put things back on drive, and you tell us. Because
does the wind resistance go away too, or lessen?
Pardon?
Does the wind resistance lessen?
Has the wind resistance lessened?
When your windows are down, does it seem like there's less wind?
Does it go faster or it goes slower?
Oh, it goes faster.
It goes faster. Has the wind has changed?
The wind.
Yeah, the wind resistance.
Like the wind in the window, as in when you have the window down.
I have to find out.
You can't. He's a very straightforward man. He doesn't know to tell you.
Okay, I'll tell you shortly.
Find out. Get in the car and let it run down the hill. And then next time, get in the car and down the hill. You'll find out very quickly.
All right.
So now you see how simply you change the composition. we see same development, same understanding, and we see the same kind of changes. So it is very easy for him to explain what is done. Somebody says it's impossible, but now we see with energy production, he's proven to be correct. We see it, monitoring it. How much is our energy, sir? Good or bad? Have we lost or have we gained? We are on a full 4, and we're still between 1 and 2. So 1.5 to 4 is our gain by 2.5 watts putting in. No, it's clear 4. We have a look at it. So we see the proposition, we see the change, and if you like tonight, make yourself some CO2 and add it to your, do not use,
Make sure you watch the CO2 properly, watch the source of the CO2, otherwise you're gonna mash up your engine.
You have to wash the CO2 out of salt when you make the GANs. And please do not use, till you know what you're doing, any other mixture.
Any what?
Other mixture.
Okay.
If you do, let us know, and I'll tell you if it's good or bad.
Excuse me, I've used them. I've used the mixture of. Now I did not include the reactor in the configuration.
No, but in the
before,
fuel, in the fuel.
I've used a reactor CO2 and copper oxide in my fuel tank. I had a half tank and I drove for like half an hour. The tank was empty, so don't do it.
That's it. That's what just about I was about to tell you.
Yeah.
CO2, sorry, the copper oxide has a reverse effect in anything which is carbon or hydrogen connected. Do not use it in the conditions of application like with consumption, like with burning. It's very much one of the best materials for extraction of oxygen, and it uses different way of composition. So that's just about I was going to say. Use the CO2 because you create a specific condition that allows it to happen. On the other hand, so in a very easy way, you can change your fuel cost tonight for the house and your fuel costs for driving and locomotive. And if you understood the change on this proportion, and you can change the system on your reactors, position the reactor in the center of the car. Very important, in the center of the car. Make sure it's securely locked. Not with a seatbelt. And run your system. I'll see you in New York, or Washington, or Moscow. With putting CO2 in the right way and copper oxide, you have locked yourself into the earth. What's wrong, Armin? You're deep in thought. He's thinking, can I go to Los Angeles tonight? You lock yourself to Earth gravitational magnetic field because it's of the same. If you can create a composite, which is the Earth gravitational magnetic field Earth, you never fall out. You always stay within the power of gravitational magnetic field of the planet.
But that also includes the moon.
No, 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 no,
No?
no, no way. No, moon has got nothing to do with Earth. It's another blob of material which happened to be in the same near vicinity. So what you've seen, very simple. I don't think anything as simple as this has ever changed the destiny of man. If you look at it, it goes again and again in different directions. Make it in and out, you levitate further, you lift higher, make it out and in. You like wherever you want to go or land. If you understand it fully, you can make drilling machine. And if you can change, excuse me, I prefer not to be. And what will be interesting for you lot to understand is that he's going to do it. I know, but he listens to it now. If you change the composition of your wire instead of copper, aluminum, or whatever, and you change the composition of what he put in there as mixture, you create totally different power supply.
Mr. Keshe, there's something I've not tried. I just realized. What about if we power the cell from here, if we power it from the opposite side?
Doesn't matter.
It's still going to be the same thing.
More or less. Depends how the energy decides to flow.
Okay, because you know this side is close circuit is connected. The positive is connected to the negative. So if you add the current, I'm wondering if it's still going
to this one.
Yeah.
Try it. Because what we're talking about is how you can change the power supply, energy supply. He used, for example, CHO3. I'll tell you something. I knew he is correct. And from my understanding, he was in the right path. Only when he explained that he added caustic and sugar. Sugar, some of you might not know, creates a very dynamic condition. In some of the rocket launches, they use sugar. In the rockets, when they want to make a lot of noise to create a fear, they use sugar. Don't ask me how I know, but I can tell you this much. It's a military secret. If you want to send a missile to create a psychological fright before attack, before landing, you add certain amount of sugar to your fuel. Because the energy release is psychological. If you understand this, go back in how he mixed even CH3, you will find out, if you understand the process and what I explained, and you mix copper oxide with CH3, the same structure is one of the most powerful medicine systems you can carry for yourself. Copper oxide, CH3, and CO2. You touch the physicality, and you touch the emotion, and you touch the energy. You're dealing with the plasma. You're dealing with the Ganser state of matter. So what the extension to the knowledge is, this simple parameter, as is connected to the energy of the reactor or star formation, don't forget the star formation creates a free plasma which touches the emotion and the soul of the man. I have taught you enough for past few weeks to understand. So now, if he puts copper oxide and CO2 on its own, the same combination, you see the effect. Change the car with the body of the man. This is, you want to create happiness, you want to create fear. The key, one of the keys. This is actually a very crude way, but if you understood this, you can do the same thing with your star formations, the way you load it up, the way you connect your loads. And then you find out, psychologically, you can control a lot of things in space. You create the plasma of the matter at CH3, you're exhausted, you don't feel like working, you are tired, you need sugar, CH3. You transfer the energy of the CH3, not the material of the CH3. Our Chinese colleagues showed us with the water, with amino acid, CO2, CH3, and copper oxide, and with the watermelon. As I said, we fulfilled all the promise of the past prophets. I give you water to taste of wine, and some of you have already tried it. Water, you put a wine, the right amino acid combination will taste, feel exactly as you're drinking wine. So now you can do the same thing in a different way if you extend your knowledge with this. So in a space, you have this preset to test wine, preset to produce beef taste. So this is another control way, in a very simple way that a lot of people can understand, that we can go at least one step further in the knowledge of man in plasma technology. So you decide how you wind this basic system. You decide how many of them you put on the bead. Then you decide the strength of the energy you receive. 4 for wheat, 6 for fish, 8 for red meat and white meat and the rest. Because you want to gain gravitational field. And then you understand what we discussed in the teaching a few days ago, why the trees don't have a toilet next to them and they don't put anything outside. Why the man and the animals who eat and use nitrogen have excrement. We need toilets, where the trees don't. You transfer energy because they do not eat. They absorb the energy or reject the energy. Now you decide what you need, in what strength. You don't need to consume food. You don't need to carry food. But you can carry the texture of the food the way you want, because in a plasmatic condition, it gives you the feeling and the emotion of eating meat, the comfort of meat in your brain. So you don't need to eat animal. You still have the feeling of a beef, rare, well done. You pre-program it in your packing. This is your new food system. Very hard, huh? Not to chew in the space. You understand? So, in a very simple way, because every structure here starts life with a GANs. So, in the coming days, as I said to you, we'll have people which achieve flight. We know a number of people have done, and as you've seen how we watch things happening, I was aware of the intimidation which Alex received. He did not come online. We take different action. We took our time. And then we bring with such a force to devastate those who hack the email. There are a bunch of hackers. They're not government. These are Third Reich in Germany. We know all their details, who they are. They're sitting on his computer monitoring. Even his ticket booking was blocked that he can't get his flight by the hackers. If you're afraid of the chickens, play chicken game. If you're a man, join the team. We support you the way we done with Alex. You brought him in securely, very quiet, nobody knows. He understood the position, but to share the knowledge was more important than the personal, stupid email by a bunch of Germans in Austria and Germany. We know who you are, we answer you in time. I hope you enjoy a very good drink on Mars on your own, but you should listen to the technology to know how to make it for yourself. So you understand what is entailed. There are a number of scientists like him. I don't call professors and doctor scientists. These are plasma scientists. We got 2 of them with pleasure in this room, 3 of them. And they have understood, and they are going into the next step of flight and food production. Tomorrow, Alex will explain the food, because we need to open that door. We need to bring for you to understand the next step in the structure of the flight system. In a way, every single one of you should know as much as he knows that if you're the last man in the space standing, you can even create a replication of yourself that will be 2 of you that you make that the human race will survive in space. You think it's funny? It's happened to many races in the past. The strongest survives. And in so many ways, a very, very simple system has led to change of the course in a simple way. And I like this system because it's an intermediate system between the next generation of plasma technologies and the people who are interested still to be involved in the matter state. The next generation, and I'm sure Alex is one of them, he's going there, but he doesn't see it. Our one is not far behind in a different way, is these will be replaced with a positioning combination of reactors. You go into total plasma, but it's part of the maturity of the man who's got to go through the process. To go suddenly to plasma, you leave too many people behind. This way, we carry more people with us to be able to achieve the transition. No knowledge has been taught so fast and understood so fast by any generation of human being. So what it is, we have touched the energy. Please disperse this YouTube recording of this morning and this afternoon to as many people as you can. Send it to the president, send it to the God knows whoever, and let people help themselves, and then they help the others. And in that process, we manage to take at least one leg out of the war system. And I'll tell you one thing. Again, scientists, what are called true scientists in Africa, will be in the door of the White House in no time. And the same in China, and the same in all the capitals. Because now, in the coming days, the way you see free energy, which has been the dream of the man, and they call us charlatans, we have had access to this knowledge for a long time. There will be the time soon that there is no borders. This man, in a simple way, in his kitchen, has produced one of the most advanced science technologies man ever known. So now we come to the people who jump on for the next step, and it will be travel. You learn how you can put the bead on top of a reactor, control its plasma. If you understood what I explained about Tesla, I don't know, from what I see on the internet, 2,000–3,000 people should be very soon on their way. And if they are brave enough to come and show it here, we'll have the whole world moving across without paying $5,000 for air ticket. I paid that a lot of time. I never understood, why do I have to pay 5,000 euro for an air ticket? And then they give you one ticket free. So why don't you give me a 2,500 without giving me a ticket free? It's very easy. You can calculate the fuel, how much use, we are not stupid, and everything else. So now the cost of the fuel is extremely expensive. Zero. And the aircraft carriers, 747, how much does your car worth? 200 pounds?
Just over that.
The 200 pound can take you, it's about 250 euro, can take you to New York. You don't like it, you leave it behind.
Exactly.
So, at no cost, all of you are the passengers of at least this atmosphere at zero cost. Los Angeles, here I come. Breakfast in Los Angeles, teaching in the morning here. You'll be totally confused, man. I don't know what you're going to do. But this is what is about to happen. It's not too about to happen. It's happened. Now it's in your hand, not mine. This is not something which is going to be. It is happening right in your, under your eyes, under your nose. And in fact, we are going to 5 and we're stuck at 1 and 2. Marco, you're not burning enough. The more you burn, the more I look. He looks better, not
Yeah,
me.
but let it go natural. Let it go naturally, because if you let it go naturally, you don't have to burn nothing. Just the DC stays constant, and then the AC. Anytime you put an appliance for AC, it goes triple. Like you can get like.
If you put AC, it goes higher.
Yeah, it goes higher. You get
Okay.
more. You get more.
More AC.
No, if you put AC, you get it puts more into the grid.
Ah, you pay more. So the more you use
don't pay
AC,
more,
you
get
put more up.
Yeah, you get more energy. I mean, you put more energy into the grid.
Yeah.
Okay.
I understand. So because if you create the gravitation of it, you have a free magnetical, which gives out. And then if you understood this in another language, tonight, if you made star formations, put one of these on top of it, control how many kettles of tea you put on, you can fly to. Because now you control the reactor. He's very busy with something.
No, I'm just want to try this. Look at this. This is the cigarette butt.
This is Armand's job.
Yeah,
Armand gave him a cigarette butt. Now he's trying to do it instead of the tissue box.
No, I want to see if it works before I go, because I'm just want to go home and
you
not think
are
about
a
nothing.
cause of a lot of problem, Armand, but you've done a lot of good. We'll see where it goes. But was the cigarette butt smoked or not? Is there any nicotine
No, it wasn't
in
smoked.
it?
It was just.
Are you sure it wasn't smoked?
No, it wasn't smoked.
Fresh. Fresh. Okay. So now you see this is a problem. He comes here to teach and he carries on. We'll never learn anything from you in London. We bring you here.
No, that's different. If I'm gonna,
He goes doing something, and if that teacher, students waiting.
No, but you're there. So I don't. You're talking.
No,
I don't want to be sitting down doing nothing. I'm not used to sitting and doing nothing. So
let's sit down for a haircut.
We have a scissors.
No.
No, that's not good enough. That's not good enough.
You have given me a brain cut since yesterday. What the heck? It's a pleasure to see men who can change the history of man in a very simple way, and they're still humble enough to be able to be still a man. And it's a pleasure to work with him since yesterday. I've learned. There he goes, Armand, the second one. They're just gathering in there.
Yeah, but I want to put this one for dinner.
Carry on, carry on, carry on, carry on, carry on. So what you see, he's still pushing. Let's see. Can we smoke it?
No. Can you
You're
smoke?
burning it. So if it's in a cigarette butt, we can smoke it.
No, you can't. Well, you want to try? You don't smoke, so you want to try?
Why not? It's good for a change.
No, man. I don't want to. I don't want you dead. I want you
You
alive.
never know.
I want
get
you
a
alive
lot
so
of
I can
energy.
learn more from
It
you.
might get me high.
Oh no, you don't have. You don't. You're already high. 24/7 high. How can a man stand on his feet all day long and then you say you're not high? You're high. You're high by nature.
Next step to this is to understand he's actually making a cigarette roll, huh? He's at it.
Yeah. I want to try
That is
that.
it. Pardon? The picture is too bright. There's too much light in the background. Turn off the lights, no problem. So, doesn't make any difference. I think he says, if it's on this computer good, how come we are so dark there?
Mr. Keshe, I'm supposed to remind you of the time.
Pardon?
I'm supposed to remind you of the time.
What's the time, please? What's the time?
I don't know what it is for you, but it's 8:30 for me, so that's usually meaning it's about
4:30. Okay,
4:30.
I'll tell you why I asked you, and you know the reason. We have, we would like, I'm going to ask you first, Rick and Vince, can we carry this through to tomorrow here? Or can we support it with the Chinese taking over, that they can demonstrate it's too dark? Bulio. Oh, I understand this very good. Yeah. So if you can support, it's too dark. It's too dark. It's too dark. I've gone that dark. Can you imagine what's happened with Alex? You won't see him. It will be a shadow only. So what happens is that can we get, excuse me, gentlemen, can we stop this discussion? It's too much noise in the background. We can carry on with other people who have started the test around the world to carry on with the teaching. We don't stop. Has anybody, do you see anybody on the lines to say they have started testing? Or
I do see things on Facebook.
Pardon?
Sorry, you just have to give me a moment because I'm actually building as we're talking.
You're building as we are talking. This is no good, Armand. It should be the other way up. This is too much light. It should be the other way. We should blind it. Yeah, go up, go up, go up, go up, go up, go up, go up. Yeah, that's what we need. The other way the same. It's too much light. So can we carry on, or do we need to change position to the new center? Because it involves a lot of moving, shifting things. And if it's possible, Can we do it? We can stay here till 7 o'clock, and then we hand it over to you and the Chinese, and then others to carry on, at least teaching each other, developing each other. I stay in the background if I can. We have a problem with our communication lines everywhere, that we see this not to stop. If we stop it, then to start again tomorrow, it'll be totally different. We've done this. Can we go through a process of linking up with different countries of the Keshe Foundation?
Yeah, let's.
We can certainly try, sure.
I think we're talking at exactly the same time, which is normal for us, I think.
What is it?
Go ahead, Rick.
Well, I think we can certainly try, is what I said.
So if you can share the load, because not many people know how to use the systems between you two. We get a number of people around the world to start building the systems, and they report it back on the Skype or Facebook or anything else. We need to create repetition to break the stronghold on the energy and what do you call?
Okay, I would like to make a call then that anybody that's been listening for the last 7 hours, especially the knowledge seekers that are building at the moment, because I see pictures, if you could please get in contact with somebody that you can come on to the meeting and continue on with what you've done and what you found out, that'd be much appreciated. So people that I've already seen posting in Facebook their few creations, I would invite you on, please.
Because we need to reproduce at least in 5 countries and feed into the power supply at least in 5 countries, that we can go from one state to the next. I explained to you why 5. There it is. Why don't you shoot on camera? Show it on camera.
Well, the amp, I'm just wanting to show that the amp is increasing.
The amperage is increasing or is going down, is 40, must be 39. That's milliamp. Yeah?
Yeah.
And,
it depends on the.
and then what about the voltage?
The voltage is about 7 point something volts.
Can we see the voltage?
About 5.32,
34. Half a volt and.
But it seems that that number doesn't really mean anything when it comes in.
That's true. In terms of the thing, it doesn't mean nothing. It can be 0, but still it's going to do the job.
Yes, because he absorbs the plasma. You lot are learning. Fantastic. Is matter dependent. Wow. Yeah. We are coming to schizophrenic house.
Yeah. Yeah, I soaked in. Yeah, but you know, when you soak it and then dries it, it comes back to the same thing.
Mr. Keshe?
Yes.
I think we have a special guest here. It looks like we have the Chinese that have the Fat Boy reactor online.
Yes, let's have him on. And then, because I tell you why, not only because of the Fat Boy, it's fantastic what he's put on. Hello, Fat Boy. How is he? Is he getting any fatter or fitter?
You know what's really funny about this is that he has a bad network connection, and he's right beside his reactor, it looks like. So he might have to move away from his reactor to be able to broadcast.
Okay. Has he achieved anything? Let me tell you why. This afternoon or today when I was talking to Alex, he said, I know what I'm going to do when I go back to England with a Fat Boy. I can do something with it. Can you tell our Chinese friend what to do with this Fat Boy?
Yeah, you can incorporate the system into your Fat Boy.
He wants you to, Mr. Zhang, if I'm correct, what Alex is suggesting or he's going to do is to cooperate?
To incorporate the system into your Fat Boy. What you do is, let's see
okay,
Fat Boy.
I'll leave it to you. I can sit down.
See,
Can you do it on
if
the
you
board?
use-
Do it on
I
the
wanted
board.
to show. Okay.
I can take my car away, and you can do it here. Explain it here because these people can see.
Okay. If Fat Boy, and then
Fat Boy, his
this is the surface, isn't it?
he's nano coated both sides,
And he told
inside
us-
and
He
outside.
told us he's getting overload from the resistance there. So
Yeah, he
if-
takes 8 ohms.
Okay. If he turns this,
Hello, just wait 1 second. Once there's something going on in the back. Ah, it's our cameraman. Okay, carry on.
okay. If he takes if he turns this one into right. If he connects the negative of this to this positive, and then instead of using the GANS reactor, the GANS set up as the battery or whatever I was using it for, you just create a cell, mix a cell, and then connect it to a system to run. It's going to get a lot of power out of it. That's why I think.
Okay. No. You spoke my language. Now I speak their language.
How can I speak Chinese?
No. No.
So-
Okay. Learn. You're going to be a teacher. You better understand.
Okay.
None of us understand your language. Otherwise, you'll be like me.
Okay.
We'll be two cuckoos
Well, I understand
speaking.
your language. So,
Okay. You understand my language and all others. This boy,
Mhm.
a fat boy,
Yeah.
has brought changes like you into the game.
Mhm.
Okay. I understand you. I interpret. Okay.
Okay.
I
Can we,
know.
please,
I
can we
know
see the picture
English.
of
English Chinese. Just wait there. Just
the-
stay there.
if
Don't
you
move.
see the picture of the- okay.
Can we see a big picture of the fat boy? Can you expand on it by any chance?
Okay. You see, it's coated the reactor, and then
He's
connected-
coated the reactor inside
connected
out.
to the GANs, connected it to GANs to run it.
He's using a gas to run it.
Yeah, I think so.
Zhenkao, can you excuse me? Can you translate for us to get the message across, or somebody on the Chinese side?
Here we have Lisa on the line. Hi, Lisa.
Hello.
Yep, there she is.
Yes.
Is that Lisa?
Yes. Hi, Mr.
Hi, Lisa,
Hi.
darling. Listen,
Uh,
can you
uh-huh. Yes.
the fat boy is doing?
I told him get close shot on the fat boy, but I don't know if he. Okay, now is.
Is he producing energy from the fat boy?
Yeah, it's better.
Yes. I think we sent. I don't know. It was Vince or Rick. He has a file, PDF file, indicate how the energy come out from the fat boy and the gas box.
I don't understand.
Same here.
Do you understand?
No, I
Anybody
didn't.
can
I
understand?
just ask her. Is this the gun setup that supplies power to the fat boy? Lisa,
Lisa,
is this the gun's reactor that supplies power to the fat boy, or is just?
The gas. No, it's different type of guns. He uses different type of guns.
Well, is it running the reactor?
how does he run the reactor? From the main or using the GANs?
The reactor. He's using just a motor. He connected to the
He's
using the motor.
Main power.
Okay.
Yeah,
Then if you put the system into it, it's going to be the same. Then,
What?
if you put the system into it, it's going to be the same because you can add the system to it because
Okay, what Alex says, if we collaborate and cooperate, the system will be the same. So that's the fat boy. If he connects the north and the south to the beads as a load.
Okay.
Am I correct?
Yeah.
Don't forget what he uses the terminology. He uses the gravitational magnetic field, not magnetical magnetic field as a load, as what it takes, creates gravity. So he connects the core to there, and then what does he do with the motor? How does he feed his motor?
No, the motor is to the
main.
the grid, to the main, and then it just connects the cores to the thing.
So he can control the lift and coming up and down now.
Hopefully.
Fat boy, you're flying.
Sure, it's gonna fly.
Understand what he explains. He is controlling. If he can reduce the load, he will increase the magnetical field, and then it creates a gravitational push. The Earth gravitational field force will force the separation. So if you could ask him, Lisa, and he has understood how how Alex made the double loop of beads, and he can connect it, he will do exactly what we showed with the star formation to control the lift. Much more compact, central. Boy, fat boy, you should be on flight condition by Tuesday open teaching. And maybe even more faster. You Chinese guys are running very fast. If you can make the beads, by tomorrow morning, place it on top of your core. You control the core dimension field. Most probably you fly, irrespective of your short circuit. Do you want to translate, Lisa?
OK。凯宇先生说，如果你能做几个那个就是说做几个它那个电池的东西的话，放在上边，然后就可以控制你的这个，就可以飞了。我听的也不是特别清楚啊，我这效果不太好。
He connects the big boy to central core, or he connects it to the outer core, dictating lift or landing. You're very worried about that boiling water. Marco, we have no more tea if that gets destroyed. We have to close the university and no more casting. A little bit left. The Spaceship Institute without caustic and hot water is no Spaceship Institute. It's taken us a long time to find this kettle. We are entering into 5 and 1.5. For just, no, it's about 4.5 and 5. Very interesting is that as it gets loaded, we get a flash of light here. So about 1.5, let's say to 4.5, we are supplying 3 times more into the grid than what we are taking. It's a big ratio. So if you take 100 kilowatts, you put 300 kilowatt back in. If you connect such a system to an industrial unit which uses 1 megawatt of energy a year, you can see how much you'll put back into the country while it's getting energy free. By the way, You can tell your friends, the Italians, for the battery, they can come in, but they make a very good donation to the foundation. Every 3 batteries they produce, they sell, 1 battery goes free to Africa. Sure. So tell him to come. We got to show. Yeah, no problem. So we'll see. We have to be able to create employment. With this technology, if they cannot go to China, the Chinese will support. The whole object is to create employment in every nation. But unfortunately, in Africa, we have to support. They don't even have a cutting machine in some of the nations. We robbed, we didn't put anything back. Now they give us a gift like this today. We have no obligation, but we have plenty of free hands to do what we wanted to do with free energy. You know, a lot of energy magazines criticize us for not being able, not delivering, because of the fear of shelving and destruction of the technology. We didn't do. Now the technology is free. Anybody has got a doubt, they can build the system up themselves and see how it uses, how it feeds back. And it's not a theory, because now 2 houses in the United Kingdom, in London, which is very important, are getting supplied with the same simple circuit and more or less a ping pong ball for past 8 weeks. The suppliers to a grid, not the users of the grid. This is not what the energy companies like, but to third world nations and to the developing nations, if the Keshe Foundations around the world are correct, is a gift to your nation. It's part of the free patent. It's part of the free technology teaching. And I wonder if the people who yesterday were with us, they can be with us today, who wanted to bring the change, and they said they have the contact to bring the change. Or are the people in the background afraid of what is to come? Don't forget, when NASA, when there was a problem with the space station, some 3-4 years ago, because of the loss of some launches and no shuttle, the Keshe Foundation at that time offered support to bring astronauts back on Earth. So in the coming days, we open the book. You will show and we tell you how it would have been done. The science is with us. The science is with the hand of one of the most capable scientists I know at the Iranian government hand. And now I'm sure Russians and the Iranians will open the book of plasma technology. Because compared to what we have here, that you understand, this is a child's play. In the advancement of knowledge, they have reached and they have achieved. So, in so many ways, if you go back, go to understanding of deuterium, now you can place cups of water, cups of whatever you like, in the center of this core. Make it to be the strength of fat, protein, banana. Ooh, I'm getting hot, Marco. Ooh, I'm getting a steamed on. Switch it up, okay. Your bar is showing itself. So what do? You saw the physical presentation of this with our Chinese. How they put a protein and CO2 and the rest, and they received water. And they had a taste of the water. Change the loading of your reactors, in the food energy level of everyday consumption you need, place water in the center, you receive your daily dosage of energy. Much simpler. In fact, what you got to do if you go further is thank you for coming. Now that you have learned the energy transfer from a system to matter state, get yourself a cup and make bands on it. Make the cups the way I did, with the beads. Nourish your soul, your heart, your stomach, your arms and legs. This is the health cup which I use instead of magnetic field. Now you put your daily dosage in your tanks. Anywhere in the universe, you need to be in the center of it because you are the water yourself. You understand?
Can I ask a question?
No, you can't. Just wait. Be patient. I'm very ruthless because I have a point to make. You disturb, I can't. So if you place yourself now in this material here in the center, you have made a beads and you make one gravitational, one magnetical, one gravitational, one magnetical. Don't forget, there are beads. You remember my magnets on the cup? You don't need even to drink from it. You just walk in it. I like fish and chips today. The combination of the plasma is fish and chips. I feel I had a fish and chips. Would like with salt finger or sore finger? Sore finger. I'll tell you the joke about the sore finger later on. In England, when you go to get a fish and chips, they ask you, do you want a salt and vinegar on it? But we have so many lovely Chinese in England, they can't say salt and vinegar. You say sore finger, and you say, yes, please, the left one, please. So he understands the joke. That's why I said, you want a sore finger or salt and vinegar? So you go in, you decide. You got cancer, with less than $1, the new health system comes in operation. That's what I said. Don't touch that acupuncture needle. You're playing with people's life. Because when you enter this zone in this condition, the body takes what it needs because it's at the memory bank. Any DNA adjustment will be done. Any RNA adjustment according to the base will be done. Go back to the agricultural teaching about the wheat and how you put it in the GANs, and then you can go back to the origin. Perfect life without any disease. You'll have it for the first time in your hand. But you got to watch how long you stay in the cup, how long you stay in the environment. Because if you go too far, you become a caveman before you know it. Yes. You think it only happens to the weed? It happens to you too. Yes, madam. Would you like that long hair? And Bill is good at it. Just don't go far back to become a rib. That's all. So, pardon?
I think there are 2 points that are not so clear that I would like to.
Who's speaking?
It's Vitor.
Vitor. Hi, Vitor, darling. How are you?
How are you? Fine, thanks.
Carry on.
I have to. I would like to know about the negative to the negative connection, because it was not explained as a scheme. It would be clear to understand. Also, I'm talking about the inner ring. Sorry.
Negative to negative.
The inner ring. How is it connect between the?
Yeah, what happened here? He does two wires. It's not one wire. He does one here, which is the negative, back to the positive, and then he puts a second negative from the same plate to the negative of the second unit. As I said, here you don't look at negative to positive. This is a transfer of energy to feed itself. This is a closed circuit. In a way, if you look at this, it's like Earth, North Pole and South Pole fields always continuously, and taking whatever it comes in the environment with it to itself. So it's a supply power.
That I understood.
Your absorption. Pardon?
That I can understand. What I mean is how it connects the inner ring, small batteries. I don't remember the name. I'll call it small batteries. The inner ring are connected negative to the negative. Is the outside
gravitational pull?
It's the outside of the battery.
No, what it does.
The outside of the other.
No, Victor. Let me explain to you for you to understand. Here he connected the negative to positive. Here he connects the whole loop. Whatever he connects to the negative, actually he connects it to the positive leg, which was now become the supply line. Understand very carefully.
Okay, so there are in series.
No, wait, Victor.
Sorry.
If you understand this, not just you, but it goes further step. In plasma technology, you create a demand, and when you create a demand, you create a supply to satisfy. Here, he creates a demand by this circle, by closing these circuits, because whatever comes, then he creates a demand to go out to supply. So the inner ring becomes to come to meet the demand. This is the supplier to meet the demand for that, and as this reduces, allows the magnetical field to supply the grid. This is where you look at it matter state, you have to look at it in the plasma state. Everything here is plasmatic. If you could make a perfect circle unit, you will have a perfect control in dimensions as well. Exactly what, as I said, Professor Mile has done. The shape of your figures will make difference. The shape of your rings will make difference. So here, you create a demand by short circuiting, and because of this demand, you meet the demand by what you absorb from the environment through the GANs of the materials. Don't think in a matter state. Think about condition creating 129. The more you create, listen to what he said. As the time goes, you supply more, because the more you drain the environment of the lower level, now the more higher levels are available to catch. That's how you increase the power. Because you get rid of, it's just like, what do you call it? The more power you want, the more you take off. You take it off, you empty of the lower order, the higher order becomes available, and this becomes your supply. That's what it does. But when he goes directly to the load, now he controls what he takes and what he puts out. It's the difference between connecting here and connecting there. It's a fundamentally different. Here he controls the gravitational field. Here he controls the energy field. It's a two different systems embedded in the one.
So
Your energy system and your flight system. Here he drains the energy to give for power. Here he gains the energy to control the altitude and position of gravitational magnetic field. Listen to what I said. Maybe you did not hear, maybe I didn't explain myself clearly. When we spoke about Tesla and Professor Mile and what I explained to you about the ring position, Professor Mile sells two units, power unit and energy unit. Something you want to get work done, something you want to transfer information. Gravitational or magnetical, but limited by matter state of the copper and the ring and the size of the ball. Here, you don't have that problem. If you connect this way, as I said, the big boy, the fat boy, is both gravitational and magnetical. Depends if you feed into the center. The problem, the beauty with the big boy, and I'm sure this guy is going to hit it very big in lift, is that here you rely on another system to give you this. In a big boy, this is embedded inside. You have both gravitational and magnetical in the cover of the skin inside out, because inside layer of the coating is your gravitational, outside is magnetical, and then you have your supply and stuff that right in the center. You decide how much you give, how much you take. It's one of the most efficient ways. But then you can connect the outside and inside together. You have a lift system or you have a power system. This
so
is
to get it right, if I understood, so the inner ring is like an expansion of the bottom cell in the simpler
star formation.
No. The mini cell, which is the one
Yes.
Alex represented in his hand. Yeah. The bottom one in the drawing, in the screen, the bottom one who has the loop, which you referred as the Earth. Yes, thank you. Yes. This one is kind of an expansion in the inner ring. It's like the same, but in the inner ring, in a series of little batteries that go to in a loop itself.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So in a way, you have to understand this in a very, very effective way. And if you know how to mix it, he uses, let's expand on something very nice. I think it's time to do a little bit of expansion, then we'll go. As I said, you went into a specific material he uses. Now you choose your material in the lining, as we've seen here. You see in that direction. But let's open this. If this is the bottom one, if you start developing the right way, you will make rings of your GaNs materials. What you can do in these rings, you can use GaNs materials of a lower to a higher order. So you amplify the energy very rapidly in your system. So you can change one with the totality of that. We talked about this yesterday or the day before when I was teaching you about the universal box or the Fukushima box. How you can make composite materials from the same thing. You've seen today with Alex the composite components. You make the composite, and according to its strength, you can load up your circuit. You can choose where you want to load up. That at the end, it'll be powerful, lower, or higher. This is a plasmatic amplifiers. In one of the patent sections, this has been referred to. Then you can use the same kind of amplifier in suddenly increasing the strength of the inner plasma to lift. That's how it's done in the space technology. That's how you see a UFO, suddenly you get a flash of light and it disappears, because the controller decides on the speed of transfer of the plasma. He doesn't change pressure. You've seen it in systems. Rotation is irrelevant. He increases the power in a rapid way into the system. He already have access to what? This is 1,000 times the speed of light. This is 40 times the speed of light with 20-meter diameter protection. This is 1,000 times the speed of light with 1 kilometer transfer of resistance, or what do you call it, magnetic field, to give him protection. So for the first time, you understand how you control your flight system. This is a cruel way. This is a very, very basic understanding of it. Now, you know how you, I taught you this week, how to make the Fukushima box, how to make different kind of materials. And now, if you start layering this, you can even layer this material layer by layer in what you choose from the center core. This is the opening door. You haven't just got in. You have opened the door, and now we teach more. You can create layers of it, different tissue papers, different ways, but this is a start. Because you cannot change the magnetical gravitational field reloading yourself again. Every time your reactor, you reload through parameters of the energy, gravitational magnetic field of your amplifiers or your systems. You see it? Huh? You go layer by layer this way to increase your power.
Yeah, I think
It's
I've done.
okay.
I think I've done the layered version of it. I did up to 3 layers, and then I had.
Is it okay? Can you hear him? No problem.
Yeah, I did the layered version of it, and then I had good feedback.
You had a good feedback, so you already achieved you're in that direction.
Yeah.
So you mix them, you amplify it, you reduce it, you connect lines together in a plasmatic condition. So now the game is expanding very rapidly. I want to know if the Chinese will have the fat boy flying by tomorrow.
Hopefully.
Do you know what you can do, boys, in the fat boy, Mr. Zhang? Make one of these systems, use the last layer Okay, I'll show it to you on your fat boy. It's easier. This is your fat boy. If you understood this, make the ring of beads around this. But make sure your last layer is 100% a nano-coated material, that you do not create electrical current, electron transfer. Then you can compress the gravitational magnetic field literally by a small control on your beads. And then you can decide which beads will be magnified. You dictate the direction of the flight or the flow. This is one of the simplest ways to create control. Because if you decide to control this and this in a certain way, this is the direction you fly. If you control this speed and this speed, this is the direction you go fly. But this is very advanced, Well, that's the way. If you put the beads, at least you can create a condition of lifting yourself and landing. At least we can start with that, while you're producing a lot of energy. You can transfer the knowledge from beads, the way you have it over the reactors in 3-star formation, into closed star formation, as I said, as a flat on top of the core. Now you have 3-dimensional control in how you fly. Brings the system control in operation, which is inevitable in the coming time anyway. As I explained, Fat Boys has been one of the oldest systems, well tested in the space. But now you look into a further development of the control of the direction.
Should we leave the thing activated, or just have to hook it up this one?
If it's this one, you want to activate my emotional part, my physical part. You want to replace my heart valve to be in the direction of the flow of the energy you can have. You don't activate the rest, but you still activate them enough that, because don't forget, all these organs depend on the heart valve, so they have a connection with it. Yeah? So you want to change the muscle or the tissue of a liver, which is cancer, you change one of the beads which covers that area in field, no cancer. What you do, you increase its gravitational or magnetical. You transfer energy of the cancer cell outside the system, no cancer. Milliseconds. The game you opened up, and this is just the beginning.
Okay.
Thank you very much for coming.
All right.
So what is the decision? Are we going to carry on here without moving the reactors, and we'll leave it to the others, and the knowledge seekers can stay on home or wherever? We keep on adding to the knowledge because we've been here. And we ask you, please start producing as many beads and start supplying your country, your nation, to become independent in energy supply. We are already still at 1 to 2. We're coming to 2, but we are at 5 already, achieving the 5. You want to go closer? We're still at 2.5 times energy, which is very good. But the more faster we go, the better it gets tomorrow. We see how far we can push it. So what is the decision from the masters? I'll tell you what I'm going to do. We open the questions. If there are any questions, let's answer some. I'm not going to answer. We're going to leave it to you. You have your mic. Are there any questions?
Hello, Mr. Keshe. Is there a circuit for the connection of the watt meters, please?
We can't hear. Can you repeat?
Is there a circuit diagram for the energy meters showing the kilowatts, the in and
this
out?
Sounds like Emmanuel from Malta.
Yes, how are you?
Hi, Emmanuel. Hi, how are you?
And how are you, Alex? All right?
Oh, very good. Tell me the question, please.
Is there a circuit for the watt meters showing the input and output so that we install a watt meter or so?
Yeah, this is your job. Is there a voltmeter for input and output?
No. Is there a circuit for the watt meters? They connect it in the...
Yeah, he wants to know if there is a circuit that can use the voltage measure.
He is asking about the power meters, not the voltmeters.
The watt meters, yeah, the power meters. Mr. Keshe, the power meters that are connected in the lecture room over there.
I don't understand what you're saying. Well, if you're talking about the meter, the wall meter at home.
No, the power meter here. Okay, I'm seeing the two power meters, the in and out. If they can supply the circuit diagrams, how they are connected, you know?
I know one understands what he's saying, so you can explain to me.
Okay, I think I understand.
Yeah.
I think I understand. He wants to know the circuit diagram of the measuring equipment that you're using for in and out.
Okay, I understand now. That socket, I didn't make it. We had an electrician got it made yesterday, but Mr. Keshe can link you up with the electrician if you want the diagram.
Okay. Maybe tomorrow. Okay, thank you, Alex.
All right.
And about the connection for the car, Alex, are the both beads, the gravitational and magnetical, have to be connected also with the reactor?
Can you come again?
Okay, when you connected the cigarette lighter, okay, you also you connected the beads, the outer and the inner, okay, the gravitational, the inner, and the outer magnetic, the magnetical.
Yeah.
Both have to be connected.
Yeah, just the same way it is here.
Same way.
Just the same way. There's no change. The same system. That's
same way. And okay.
Yeah.
And also have to add a one reactor to that.
You have to add what?
A reactor. Also the ball. Okay. The ping pong ball also.
Yeah, I use the
ping pong ball.
I use the ping pong ball reactor.
Okay. And what guns are you using in the ping pong balls?
What guns did I use in that ping pong ball? I think it's composite guns. No, it's CO2 guns with the strength of banana.
Pardon?
CO2 guns with the strength of banana.
Okay. So,
you know what that means? Which means if you make a CO2 box and you put a banana on top of it, you get the strength of banana in the CO2.
Okay. So it's CO2 and banana?
Yeah. Not inside. Don't put the banana inside.
Yeah.
You want to leave it on top of it. And then you're going to attract the feeds of the banana into the CO2.
So what I want to make clear is that you are using the same GANs in the tank and in the reactor. Okay, so in the tank you use CO2 GANs.
Yeah, but I think you can use any GANs actually, because it doesn't really, it's the fields that matter, it's not the GANs itself.
No, in the tank and the petrol and the fuel, you put CO2 GANs, 50 milliliters.
Oh, in the tank?
In the tank, yes.
Yeah, but listen, it's a half tank. No, it's a quarter tank that I used. It's not a full tank, so it's a quarter tank of petrol.
And every time you fill it up, do you have to put more GANs?
I don't put more GANs, I just top up.
That's it.
Yeah, because I put the GANs in December, and then ever since then I've not added no GANs since December.
So practically the GANs remain there. They don't get wasted, you know.
Yeah, listen, it's not the same CO2 gases that I have in the reactor that I have in my car. In the car, in the petrol tank, I use the plain CO2, nothing with no strength, just ordinary CO2.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Thank you very much, and I congratulate you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Maybe we can close now. With the plates. Oh yeah, how do you do that?
Yeah, so what I would like to add is maybe we'll keep the live stream, the YouTube going, and and we'll just have it on pause, but we'll keep the Zoom going as well, so that if people want to come on that have made devices, then we can turn the YouTube back on, and people can share.
Nano-coated material to energize them outside.
Yeah, but when I use the banana ganses, it gives me a different strength when I put them. Okay. Thank you, Amor. Thank you. So can we close now?
Okay.
All right. Amon just told me, if you want to energize your CO2, the best way to do it is to use nano-coated plates to do it. If you place one nano-coated material here and next one here, it's going to get energized. I think we should close and go home now, because I want to come to your place. Any more questions, or shall we go? Vince?
Okay, I think maybe we should take a break here, Vince, and do a little regrouping.
Yeah, we could take a break and come back. I can always schedule another live event if everybody wants to follow the Keshe Foundation YouTube, then we can see it there. Also, I'm sure that there'll be posts under Facebook. And of course, the video will always be available after we're done the live event, and you can come in and catch up as you need to. Maybe that's a good idea, Rick, so everybody can take a little break and regroup with their thoughts. We'll be still here on Skype, so let us know if there's anybody on the knowledge seekers that want to present their newly created devices.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll close the live stream down, I guess, right? For now, is that the idea?
Is it possible that we can leave the camera on with it focused on the
drawing,
power,
on the meeting,
on the
power?
meter? Yeah, on the in and out of the power meters.
Well, we have to ask them. Maybe, yeah. Marco, is okay. Okay, it says yes.
Because that way, if we leave that on, then we can dynamically come back to it and check it out and include that into parts of
yes.
video as well.
Question.
Yeah.
When you put the reactor inside the car.
Okay.
Just might need some light. Keep the lights on.
Connect negative with the negative. There is no.
Because it's
It'll make a long video.
It'll
be many gigabytes. It's going to be hard to deal with it later.
Yeah, I have a motor that's in the reactor that runs. I have a fan motor. I put the ping pong ball on top of the motor, and then I do this configuration to the cigarette.
The rotor inside have CO2.
Huh?
The reactor inside have CO2.
Has gases, yeah, it has gases.
Liquid
CO2. Yeah, only CO2.
Dry or
no, it's dynamic, which means nano CO2, dry CO2, and the normal gas itself. You know, if you're making the layering,
dry liquid. So
yeah, dry liquid, and the one you treat with caustic. You know,
caustic.
And the caustic one, because the nano guns.
Internal and external. So only internal.
No, listen. The guns.
Can you explain to the board so that people
understand? Okay. So he's asking me if sorry. He asked if I have if I added gases to the reactor in the car, Okay, yes, I put gases in the reactor. It's dynamic. It's layered. I had 3 layers of it, which means the dry GANs of it, and then the nano one, and then the normal GANs. The 3 layers of it. So that's all. Which means one treated with caustic, and one normal, and then one dried. So that's what is talking the thing. And then it's a motor, this normal. I didn't put no caustic dust. I just did a nano.
Internal of the sphere.
Okay, if I coated. No. Okay. So that's all. That's all anyway.
And put downside you put the motor connected with the circuit with the nano wire to minus and minus pole.
Just the same way it is here. That is the same way I put in car. Where's the socket? Where's the little one? I'll show you. You see this one? Yes. This is the negative, and this is the positive. So this and this one goes into the cigarette lighter.
Yes.
And this one goes to the reactor.
This one?
And this one. This is the negative, this is the positive. So the reactor, this one has to go to the negative of the reactor, and this one is positive of the reactor. And then this one and this one here, same positive.
Positive and negative go to the reactor.
Yeah.
And negative and negative go to the...
No negative and negative.
There is a problem in the explication.
No, it's not a problem. Maybe you don't understand that. Look at
this. This is the cigarette lighter.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. This is your cell.
Yes.
This is minus. This is plus.
Okay.
This goes to cigarette lighter.
Yes.
This goes to motor. And then comes to the cigarette lighter. You understand? So what it has, whatever it collects,
it goes back
to your generator.
You understand? Sure.
So this is your reactor. Okay, it's rotates because it's 12 volt, whatever it needs.
Hey Armin, could we get you a microphone? Because it's really hard to hear you through.
The reactor. From here.
Is there anybody still listening there at the SSI?
I'll make the reactor.
So this motor.
Positive and negative.
Positive and yes. Positive and negative.
Hello. Do you hear me? Yeah. Could you get Armin a microphone? Because it's really hard to hear him through.
Armin, could you speak to microphone somehow, or?
Oh, okay. You wanna
to explain to microphone, and we would like to.
You just yelled into the microphone too loud, and it overloaded it, and it stopped transmitting.
Wait, I tell him and then he explain to me.
Is that okay?
I tell him and he
That's better.
Say it again. Sorry, we didn't catch any of that. You were too close to the mic.
If we want to follow the meters, we have to change the position of the camera, so we have to stop it for a while. Is that okay?
No mechanic, so I don't know.
Well, I was just thinking about zooming it into the meter.
No, it's not possible to zoom it. The position of the camera now is not
yeah, it becomes lighter, and then even when you drive.
Can we do?
Sure, no problem.
Okay.
You want to fly. It's very light.
Guys, can I speak a bit?
Yeah, but could you ask Armin to repeat that on microphone? That was really important.
You can feel it slide. It just go straight. But it's not levitating. It doesn't levitate, but it's just light. No, it doesn't levitate.
Live stream is registration in the
Sorry?
live stream registration registrato.
Io credo no, solo per vedere no, no.
Ah, perché in the other video in the live stream play
Play?
play e go video live stream.
Yeah.
Ci
What's
sono
wrong?
tutti i video in live stream. Ad esempio, live stream the morning, the maestro. Se io voglio rivedere, posso rivedere?
Sì, sì.
Play.
Sì, play.
Quindi registrato il video. Se io posso vedere...
No, anche no, anche senza registrare.
In automatic posso vedere. Play,
Io credo.
ci sono. Quindi...
Come on. I think that's a good thing is going to work, you know.
The internet
the secret
connection
thing is
because
going to work.
Mr. Cash computer
The amps
want to plug in.
yeah, it's going to
Marco.
Maybe
Marco.
Yeah, the secret thing
If
work.
you let it, it will soak.
Recording.
So when it's soaked, it's not going to get dry.
I'm not sure.
If you already
Quindi
have
non lo sai, recording o meno. Ah, ho capito, sì. Thank you.
Marco, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Sorry, we're just listening to the conversation. We're trying to listen to Alex too. Can you make sure that microphone that you're holding is with Armin?
What is it?
Sorry.
We just hear half a conversation with Alex and yourself as well, so it's a little confusing. Maybe it's better if we just mute you and we continue this, or are you guys still going to be there for a little bit?
What you want me to do?
I think you were too close to the mic there, Armin.
What we are discussing.
Oh, we were too close.
Oh, okay. Maybe we should switch this off.
It's off?
Oh, I hear you loud and clear. I muted them there.
Thank you.
So maybe we should just say that's it. I will periodically turn this on, see what we can do about keeping updates happening regularly, and we'll see where we have to go. I'm sure there's many people that are building frantically.
Sounds good, Vince. Yeah, we'll take a break and check back in later.
Sorry, guys, can I say a bit?
Sure.
I was looking when there was, to put this Fukushima box, and when they're putting the outside of the box, the container, I mean, the plates, and what Alex said, like you put banana on top. Actually, we can use the same things with the plates. We don't need to put outside. We can just put on top of the water, and you just don't touch the water. Like you by the layer, kind of covering the box. You understand what I tried to say? Hello.
You're saying you put the plates over the water instead of outside the box, so you don't have the
Yeah,
plastic in between.
Yeah, example. Yeah, I think it will be clearer, the better field. And if you just in case don't have nano coated, it's also could be the way. What is your thoughts on it?
Oh, I think you should try it and see and report back to us.
Color doesn't change, so you can't really see it changing. Only when you put in the reactors and see the effect only then. But if you can get the taste of watermelon, the metal should have the same effect, basically, logically.
Okay, we can think about that. I need to take a break. I've been at this way too long and I'm falling asleep, so I
Okay,
have
yeah,
to
sorry
take
guys.
Guy
I
home
just...
here. Well, we can bring that up later this afternoon, or later.
Yeah, thank you guys, and thank you for everything. You do great job.
All right, thank
yeah,
you.
there is some questions on the YouTube just asking for more information, and there's lots of knowledge seekers out there that can help these people get up to speed a lot quicker than looking at 68 or 67 other workshops that are approximately 4 hours each. So I think we can all help each other to be able to get to the position we want ourselves to be in by tonight, which is basically fossil fuel free. So let's all help out our fellow neighbors and anybody that's willing to listen and wants to make one of these devices. If they're just starting out, let's all pitch together and help these people. There are lots of places like on Facebook that have lots of different opinions and information about how to make the GANs. And especially this, the beginnings of this workshop, right at the beginning, Alex did a good job in describing what needs to have happen to make the GANs and the different styles that he's using there. So again, let's all help each other out, and there's lots and lots of resources that we can help each other out with. So point people in the right direction, point people to the good timings in the videos that might help them the most.
And we can work toward a fossil-free Friday.
Exactly.
That's good. Okay. Anything else, or shall we wrap it up for now?
Let's wrap it up for now. Again, if there's something that's going to be happening really soon, then we will schedule another live event. So please watch for that, and we'll make sure that information gets posted on Facebook and elsewhere.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll be broadcasting through the day here, or night, whichever it turns out to be where you are. Okay.
Okay, thank you everybody for coming. Maybe you should wrap it up like normal, Rick, and then we'll stop it as there.
Okay.
Thank you to both of you.
That's the end of this part at least, of the 68th Knowledge Seekers Workshop for July 2nd, 2015. And thank you everybody for attending. It stopped recording, but it didn't.